a black heterosexual male has possibly hindered my career.
I've said this before. We've all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood, period. That's what it is. We've all, at some point or another, been inappropriately touched in Hollywood, whether you realize it.
So, have you noticed how more and more actors are stepping up to spill the tea on this whole blackballing saga in Hollywood? It's like Katt Williams was onto something with that infamous interview where he dropped some major truth bombs about the industry since then. It's been like a floodgate hat opened with countless celebs coming forward to share their own experiences and offer support. And let's face it, there's been some serious talent sidelined for reasons that just don't add up, and now they're fed up with staying silent about it. The latest name rumored to be ready to spill their side of the story is Darius McCray. Remember him? He was once a shining star with a future as bright as they come, but as the years passed, it's like his light just kept flickering and waiting until he practically vanished from the scene. Now whispers are swirling that he's gearing up to not only talk about being blackballed, but also spill the beans on why it allegedly happened. So what exactly is his story? Let's get into it. So you remember that bombshell Katt Williams dropped during his no-holds-barred Club Shay interview, right? Well, it looks like Darius McCray might just be backing him up with even more jaw-dropping revelations about the dark side of Hollywood. In a latest explosive interview, Darius spilled some serious tea, claiming that pretty much everyone in Tinseltown, regardless of gender, has experienced some form of inappropriate touching. According to him, it's just par for the course in Hollywood. Wet. Her folks realize it or not, he said, "I've said this before. We've all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood. It's just what it is. We have all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood, whether the audience realizes it or not."
I've said this before. We've all been inappropriately touched in Hollywood, period. That's what it is. We've all, at some point or another, been inappropriately touched in Hollywood, whether you realize it.
During Katt Williams' Club Shay interview, Katt nearly broke the internet by saying that Hollywood men are G by high-level executives in Hollywood, and then forced into participating in gay activities to get ahead in the business. Now here's where it gets even more intriguing. Rumor has it that Darius might have been living that very story. Some speculate that perhaps he refused to play by the rules set by those powerful figures, and that's why his career seemingly hit the skids after his stint on Family Matters. It's like he went from the top of the world to rock bottom in the blink of an eye. So Eddie Winslow on Family Matters made waves on The Young and the Restless, but despite his success in the spotlight, his bank account's been on a roller coaster ride. Picture this: Family Matters running for 9 epic seasons, over 200 episodes of pure sitcom gold. That's where Darius made his mark, becoming a household name. And let's not forget his stint on The Young and the Restless, adding more fame to him. Resume, but here's the kicker: despite all the glitz and glamour, Darius has faced some serious money woes. Like, we're talking about staring down the barrel of a $90,000 debt to the IRS kind of trouble. It got so bad that he had to crash with family just to keep his head above water. And get this, when he hit up the courtroom in November 2017, he laid it all bare. The guy was scraping by on gigs that barely paid enough to cover his daily coffee fix. He was hustling hard, but the paychecks were laughably small. Think $125 a day for a week-long shoot. Further financial hardships surfaced in a 2019 court filing when MCC claimed to have earned a mere $500 in the preceding year. Yeah, that's the kind of reality check that'll make your jaw drop. It's like peeking behind the curtain of fame and seeing the struggles that come with it. Fast forward to December 2023, and things took another nosedive. Darius found himself in cuffs over unpaid child support, staring down a whopping $53,000 debt. That's no small chance. Especially when he's supposed to be shelling out $1,300 a month to support his kiddo. Also, MCCC found himself in a bit of a typecasting maze. The whole Eddie Winslow thing was a blessing and a curse. While it made him a star, breaking out of that mold proved trickier than a Rubik's Cube. Casting directors and fans alike couldn't unsee him as the Winslow Kid, making it a challenge to land roles that showed off his full range. And you guessed it, this typecasting struggle is a classic Hollywood tale. Nye actors grapple with breaking free from their iconic roles, and McCray was no exception. Post Family Matters, he tried to mix things up, hopping into various TV and movie projects, But let's be real, none quite match the Eddie Winslow fame. This whole journey shines a spotlight on a bigger issue, especially for those who hit the fame jackpot as kids. Navigating the transition to more grown-up roles is like trying to find your way out of a maze blindfolded. McStory mirrors the challenges many actors face in evolving beyond their past characters. Also flashback to the interview when Darius got real about being a black man in Hollywood. In an interview, he peeled back the curtain on the challenges he's faced, hinting that maybe his identity has put a few roadblocks in his career path, but he's not one to play the blame game. He's all about breaking stereotypes and embracing every role, whether it's playing a straight dude or stepping into the shoes of a gay character on Anger Management.
Black hetero male has possibly hindered my career to a degree.
Even with all the positivity he's putting out there, it's clear Darius isn't the only one facing these uphill battles. There's a whole crew of talented actors feeling the sting of being sidelined in Hollywood. Let's do a quick dive in. First up is Jesse Smollett, and man, it's a roller coaster ride in Hollywood. You probably remember him from Empire, where he played Jamal Lyon. Groundbreaking stuff, really being an openly gay black dude on TV. He was getting major props for breaking barriers and his acting chops. But hold up, the plot takes a wild turn in January 2019. Jesse reported being the victim of a hate crime in Chicago. Now that made headlines real quick. At first, folks were rallying behind him, showing love and support. But then the whole story started looking fishy. Details started popping up, suggesting that maybe, just maybe, he orchestrated the whole thing himself, and bam, the tide turned. Public opinion did a 180, and suddenly Jesse went from victim to suspect. Media went nuts, and the dude faced some serious legal heat. We're talking a 16-count indictment for allegedly filing a false police report. The legal saga had more twists than a soap opera. Charges dropped.
Fined $25,000, which is the maximum fine, and you will spend the first 150 days of your sentence in the Cook County Jail, and that will start to...
This whole mess not only put a dent in Jesse's personal repap, but also threw a massive question mark on his Hollywood future. Empire wrote him out of the final episodes, and his next moves in the industry became a big old question mark. Now let's talk Wesley Snipes, the dude who rocked the 90s with his K roles in New Jack City, White Men Can't Jump, and that Blade trilogy. I mean, the guy's got range, charisma, and a unique vibe on screen. But hold on, his Hollywood journey hit amazing major speed bumps. So sure, this early 2000s, and Wesley's in the middle of a high-profile tax evasion case. Legal battles ensued. And it wasn't some quick skirmish. We're talking lengthy and complex. The climax: Wesley got convicted for willfully dodging those federal income tax returns in 2010. He kicked off a 3-year prison stint. Talk about a plot twist, right? His time behind bars marked a serious timeout from the acting scene and the public eye. Suddenly, the buzz wasn't about his K performances, but about the legal drama overshadowing his career. It goes to show how fame can get shaky real quick, especially when off-screen stuff takes the spotlight. Fast forward to his release, and Wesley tried to get back in the game. He showed up in films like The Expendables 3 and Coming to America, a comeback attempt, no doubt. But let's be real, it wasn't the full-on return to glory he probably hoped for. Hollywood can be a tricky beast, and Wesley Snipes learned that the hard way. All right, let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Will Smith. Now, we all know his Hollywood journey is like a blockbuster movie in itself. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in the 90s, salute classic. Then he owned the big screen with Independence Day, Men in Black. You name it, basically the dude was on fire. But hold on to your seats, because 2022 at the Academy Awards was a whole different plot twist picture. This live on TV, Will Smith goes full-on confrontation mode and slaps comedian Chris Rock on stage. Why, well, Chris cracked a joke about Will's wife, Jad. A Pinkett Smith, instant shockwaves, and the whole world's jaws dropped. Oh, wow. Will Smith just smacked the aftermath. Massive. Will faced a tidal wave of criticism for the slap seen as uncool and a hit to his squeaky clean image. He even resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and got banned from their events for a solid decade. The guy who's been the poster child of positivity suddenly found himself in the middle of a controversy that had everyone questioning his judgment and professionalism. Fast forward, He said sorry to Chris Rock, and some folks think he'll bounce back just fine. I mean, it's Will Smith we're talking about. Next up is Isaiah Washington. You know him from Grey's Anatomy, playing the suave Dr. Preston Burke, a role that put him on the map as a top-notch performer, but buckle up cuz his Hollywood ride gets bumpy real quick. There's this incident that totally flips the script on Washington's career vibe. It all kicks off when he drops a not-so-cool homophobic slur on the Grey's Anatomy